All right then. So today we have by popular request Dr. Stephen Best, who will be here in a couple of minutes, and Jason Miller, who is currently one of the hottest activists, field activists on the hunting issue, and he'll be joining us as well. And he and Jason Miller is also the creator of Thomas Paine's Corner, which is a very hot blog site, radical and liberal thinking. And so Dr. Stephen Best needs almost no introduction, but I'll say a couple of words about him. He is the professor of philosophy at the University of Texas in El Paso, and he used to be the chair of the department until he was demoted due to his animal rights activism and some of his more radical ideas. And because he's so outspoken, he is also banned in Britain. So we are having these two gentlemen on, and I think what we'll be talking about are quite a few things. Jason Miller's current campaign in Kansas City, Missouri, and Jason will be starting off with that. He is an extremely dynamic and tenacious activist. He is also a media whiz. He has generated so much media on that local campaign that I have hardly ever seen any such action on a local campaign, and he's made it national. He's made it a national campaign, which is just absolutely amazing. He's captured Fox TV, he's captured NBC TV, and a lot of major newspapers. And so I congratulate him on his success. And Dr. Best is currently on the line now, and I think that I should just begin with him. And Steve, are you there, Steve?
Yeah, hi.
Hi there. So we're waiting for Jason to call in within a minute or so, and then we can get the ball rolling. So what's happening with you recently, sir?
Well, I got a new book coming out on academic repression, reflections from the academic industrial complex, and that's going to come out in about a month or so on AK Press. And that is to describe, really to refute the myth of academic free speech, like the myth of social free speech in general is a myth. There's no free speech in academia, and anybody who speaks up critically or writes critically is
that right?
a target. So that's coming out, and got a new book coming out on animal rights and moral progress pretty soon, early next year, maybe middle next year.
Oh, so you're working on two books at once?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I hear that you've been traveling around the world pretty vigorously recently, even to Africa. Is that correct?
Yeah, I've done 3 speaking tours of Africa now. I mean, 3 weeks at a time. I've gone into Johannesburg, Cape Town, and various other places to speak on the radio, live TV, various newspaper interviews, and many kinds of public lectures on animal rights and veganism. I just came back from Ireland, where I did a debate on vivisection at the University of Cork, Ireland, and I gave some seminars on animal rights and terrorism. And earlier this summer I was at the International Animal Rights gathering in Oslo, Norway.
Wow. I thought that you were banned from the UK, so how come you could go to Ireland?
Well, because it's the so-called Free State.
Oh, I see.
I can't go to Northern Ireland. I can't go, for instance, to Belfast.
Oh, is that right?
But I can go to Southern Ireland, stand on the border, and thumb my nose.
I see. Well, you just have to shave off your 5 o'clock shadow to be unrecognizable. We have Jason Miller on the line. Is that correct, Jason?
Yes, I'm here. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello. Good morning. And Jason, we're going to start off with you. Give us an outline as to what you're doing and your various successes. Very impressive. Go ahead.
Well, thank you for that, Anthony. And I guess a summary, to summarize it in one sentence, is that we're giving them some serious hell here in Johnson County, Kansas, which is in suburban Kansas City, Missouri. It's an affluent, supposedly progressive suburb of the Kansas City area. And they have, we think, initiated, using their euphemism, a deer cull in a suburban family park. We don't buy into their language. deer slaughter. My allies and I here locally, I'm sure you two gentlemen agree with that.
That's a very mild word, slaughter. I use the worst word, but go ahead.
I have no object to the word gentleman here, too.
Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, yeah, we've launched a relentless campaign against these people, and we put up a billboard earlier. We've sent out 2 major press releases. We've been calling and emailing them relentlessly. In fact, one of our tertiary targets, the Johnson County Board of Commissioners, told somebody the other day that she's getting 75 calls or emails a day. We closed the park down one day. It was a symbolic move. It only lasted for about 10 minutes, but we made a banner and went to the main park entrance during the busy part of the day for the park on a Sunday afternoon, and the banner said Death Park closed for cruelty, and I had my bullhorn and was telling the people, the potential park patrons who were trying to get in their cars, who we had blocked. We were telling them why we were closing the park, that this is an unnecessary slaughter, immoral, barbaric, unnecessary, and that they had rejected your plan, Anthony, to manage the deer population without spilling a single drop of blood. I delivered a severed deer head that I procured from a meat processor. The deer had already been killed by a hunter. It would have gone in the trash anyway. So I took that to the park administrators and delivered that, and made a short speech to the media. It was a letter that was written from the perspective of the deer head in my name, Victoria, after a Catholic saint who was beheaded. And then recently, just this past week, went out to the park and we renamed it Death Park in front of the local media, a couple of the major network local affiliates.
I think
they filmed it and put it on air. I stood in front of the sign of the park, this beautiful 1,200-acre park that's full of these magnificent innocent deer that they're getting ready to murder. And I renamed it Death Park, and wanted to expose they're one of the ways that they're justifying their immoral, barbaric act is they're saying they're donating the meat to the homeless and the needy, and they're giving the hides to a veterans organization. And I said that was just a shameless, cynical way of masking their barbarism. And I said, by the way, this is all done in secrecy, a shroud of secrecy. I said to the media, people who were there, I said, you can't even witness this murder of the deer. No one can. They don't want anybody to see how ugly this really is. They want to sanitize it and hide it behind euphemisms. They're doing all this in a family suburban park where kids play. You know, they have soccer games, baseball, etc. And I said, today I'm going to show people what blood looks like, what kind of blood is going to be flowing through this park. And I dumped a 5-gallon bucket of blood over my head.
I saw you on TV the other day, yesterday actually, on Fox TV yet. So you've really made it great. And by the way, people, Jason has earned himself the new nickname of the Godfather as a result of his delivery of the dead deer head to the Fish and Game Department. Good for you. And so what's your next move?
Next move is to file an injunction, and tomorrow we're going to actually have an author, a published author, who's a great animal rights activist. I imagine you two gentlemen are familiar with him. His book is available on the site that hosts you, Anthony, or one of the sites that hosts you, All Creatures.
Yes.
Arthur Paletti is driving all the way to Kansas City from Chicago. He just left early this morning, and he is going to be at our demonstration. We're going to have a protest tomorrow at the park at 2. I'll be out there with my bullhorn, and a bunch of people will be there with signs. We'll be passing out flyers, and Arthur is going to make a presentation in front of the media. He's going to challenge all hunters and people in favor of the deer cult to read his book,